Hello YouTubers, Troz here, back playing Factorio. And today I am going to attempt the all item train again. Hopefully we won't have the problems like I had last time. Because mostly hopefully I've attempted to address all of them. Well, first, I have large fields of solar now. Not that it's supplying all my base, but basically when I was trying these smelting tests, we had gotten quite high on power. So I have this solar blueprint. I put it down all over a lot of places, and well, sun's going down, but we're making over 2 gigawatts of power. So that should definitely help. I won't need all my nuclear running full blast. Second, I have, we have a new steel smelter over here. Steel was a big issue, and I actually have 3 steel trains now. So we have 1 unloading, and we have 2 waiting here right now. We can have, 1 loading and 1 in the midst of traveling. So that should help. One of the other issues we had was solid fuel. And I did make some changes earlier for that. In the middle of the run, I had put in a lot of more solid fuel production. But I've gone and done one better than that. I have come up with this blueprint. It basically send you on your way. Basically takes coal and this coal liquefaction, and then converts the heavy to light oil, the light oil to solid fuel, and then with the gas, it also converts that to solid fuel. It's not as efficient, but hey, we're trying to get solid fuel here. And while it is all backed up now, it can just about fill a blue belt. It's maybe 98% full. It's just about there. And I have that coming over here, and it will be directly loading onto the train, as well as filling these passive chests so that the robots can fill these chests, just so that merges in with the existing stream of materials a little better. And I think that's most of it. I mean, I've done some other changes. One of the other changes I've done is add in this way station. This is based off of my earlier, all item text displays. Although this is kind of an upgraded version. But this one is particularly designed for a train to stop here. It reads all the items on the train, and then it sends a signal, so the train goes on its way then. So yeah. I think we're all ready. We should be, with our tests from last time, definitely with these new smelters, and relying a lot less on the old smelters. Basically, it's just going to be the rocket facilities, I think the batteries that are using up the old smelters. Maybe these trains. I think these trains, yeah, these are also going to use the old smelters, but with less than half the traffic, they should definitely be able to keep up. So let's get this started. This will most likely be a time lapse. I expect this to take I'm hoping for half the time it did last time. We'll see. Oh, that's the one thing I forgot to mention. So for all, we basically had, for the major stuff, 16 belts, 2 groups of 8. Except gears only had 2 groups of 5, or 10 belts. And that's just because the blueprint took 15 belts and turned it into 10 belts of gears. So I extended it, or added on a section. We're making another 6 belts of gears over here, supplied by another train, and I've tried to feed it in every so often, as things were using it. So we have a feed off, a branch off here, 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 and then finally all the way back here. Now, how much will that really help? I'm not sure. We'll find out. Also, I have this train parked over here because it was... I'll turn it on after we start this all up, and as well as that the science train, which I believe should be also parked down here at the bottom. Once I get here, or there. Now, UPSs are doing quite well. Yeah, you're on manual, so I'll start him up as well once I get this train in. Alright, here we are. Most of these locomotives have fuel. I think there's only these 3 that don't. So let's get in. You see there's no cargo, and the only thing I want to do is have this train go to the way station, and just by having it wait until z is greater than 0, it'll read out all the stuff on the train. Okay, I think we're ready. Let's go. Alrighty. It's been about 2 hours of real time since we started. And as you can see, it's been not quite an hour of actual in-game time because we're running about only a third of the frame rate we should be. Had a few issues. One being the power, which I hope I just addressed. Basically, oh, yeah, it's going back up. Basically, this nuclear power plant has an emergency mode if this drops below a certain amount, where it immediately sticks in fuel if it's not currently running. As you can see, the steam has gone almost all the way down, and so that emergency mode kicked in. But apparently, the way the timing works out is it sends the signal. I don't know if it's for one frame or maybe just a few frames, but it's enough time for the arms to grab out of these chests. These ones in the middle here that grab off the belt, the signal isn't long enough for them to grab an item and stick it in, and so the middle 6 nuclear reactors weren't running, which one just alone, lowers the total energy output, but then also there's a much less neighbor bonus. So yeah, that's not good. So I basically wired it to keep these full. You can see all of them have 5 in there now. So that'll fix that problem. The next big problem is, while these smelters are good, one probably isn't enough. You can see we have 4 trains waiting here, 5 trains waiting here. So I did put back 1 copper train going to the old smelters and 2 iron trains. Looks like one is coming back and one's going at the moment. Actually, it looks like I have 3 iron trains. I added 2, and I convert 4. I moved 2 over, and I added 2 new ones. Yeah, so probably could have used an extra 1 of each. I don't think I'll ever do this again, at least not on this map, but I'll keep that in mind. Even though these are good, there's still a maximum number of trains it can handle at a time. And, well, we've gone a bit past it. 3, 6, 9, 12. We have almost 15. It's probably good for 10. So, but other than that, we're pretty good on items. You can see basically anything that has the chest full is done. So we're waiting on just a few Mark II batteries. We got about 3/4 of the Mark II shields done. Military bots we're kind of waiting on. Grenades and maybe done with flamethrower fuel, or just about. I'm not sure if 2,000 is the limit or if it goes up to 4,000. We need some more rockets. And a bit more regular ammo, but now that we're done with the other types of ammo, that should come relatively quickly. And then science, we're a little more than halfway on space science, but all the other sciences we are good on at this point. And I think that's mostly it. So, it shouldn't be too much longer, except for the space science. But we should have all our rocket launch facilities going at full tilt to produce that as quickly as possible. And yeah. So just a few more things. Let me check out the flamethrower fuel, because that does rely on our oil plant. That's one other thing I did not mention, but we had some power issues, not just with like the power production, but a while ago I hooked up a lot of these to be able to be turned off depending on if I had a pickaxe in logistics, and I stuck 5 pickaxes in logistics, and yet some of them still turned off, so I had to rewire. I don't know what was requesting, but yeah, these are all on now, which is good. Alright, let's... Flamethrower fuel should be down here. Okay, that's only about half full. Well, it's been just about 3 hours real time, and here we are. We're finishing up space science. We just have a few thousand more, and the space science train from our exterior rocket launchers has pulled up with more than enough space science to fill this up. So it's probably less than a minute before this finishes the space science. Um, we do have two other items that are still filling up, and those are the normal and explosive cannon shells. Oh, there we go. Space science is filled. So our only two items left are these, and they're also moments from being filled. Uh, I don't know exactly why these are taking so long. My guess is... Ooh, that one's done. We're just waiting on explosive cannon shells. My guess is, at some point, we ran out of petroleum gas. And if you might have noticed, two sections were not running. There were pumps here to get rid of the heavy, but for some reason they weren't working. I didn't look because I knew we were close to finishing. So I think we're on our way. We are completely done. Just about 3 hours real time. If we look at the productivity graph, that like high peak there is that high peak here. So it's, if this is an hour, let's actually look back. Yeah, so it's like this down part here is an hour, so it's maybe an hour and 20 minutes game time. I mean, we were under half speed. We still are. Yeah, so that actually is pretty impressive, I think. Right about where I would wanted it in terms of game time. Real time, actually, even. I had said 3 hours was what I was aiming for, and yeah, just about 3 hours. Heading off to the way station now, which, not that it really verifies that we have everything. I mean, full cargo inventory. That kind of tells us right there that we have everything. I'm gonna just zoom in on the way station. I don't even know what train number this is. If you don't know, every train has a particular number that it's assigned. So the first thing this will show is this train's train number, and then it will flip through all the items on the train in what should be 5 seconds each item, but will be longer because, well, our updates per second is much less. 5406 is our train number. And now we should start flipping through all the items. Raw wood. Yeah, coal. This might be a time lapse as well. Alright, and there we are. This should be the end of the list. The time played isn't really the time played, it's the amount of time this sign has existed. And we should be sent on our way now. Oh, here we go. I'm gonna just zoom out to see how far this train goes back. Oh, it is still all the way over here, blocking exit of our all item area. The train should be now taking a trip. Oh, that's not good. Oh, wow. Well, wasn't that fun? I did not expect that at all. I forgot this was even here. I was thinking the train would come. Oh, we got more explosions? Yeah, I was thinking the train would come down here, go through here, and out here, and then back. Instead, we got that. I'll have to go back to the last save, autosave. But yeah, pretty much that is going to wrap up this series. I'm probably not going to totally stop. I may do a train tutorial, although I'll have to put in a warning about long trains and U-turns. And I may do another few other things here and there, either on a few mods or maybe on new signs if I, come up with better versions of this or other interesting signs. We're still traveling through here. Yeah, so while I won't be as regular as I was, I'll still have content from time to time. I'll see how things go. I've been getting a bit busy with some other things, but I definitely do want to keep posting things. So maybe once every 2 weeks or so, I'll have something, unless I get into another game that really piques my interest. So, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more Factorio, or other games. We'll have to see. See you then.